What's up guys, welcome back to SempreInter TV, here to review our boring ass 0-0 draw against Atalanta at the San Siro. It was a highly anticipated match in the build-up, thanks to Atalanta's form. Of course they're overachieving massively this season once again, playing some great attacking football, one of the highest scorers in the league with 64 goals scored. That's 2 off their all-time record. And then Inter, of course, just a few days ago, coming off the impressive 4-0 win against Genoa. So it looked like it was all set for an exciting match. In the end, it seems like none of the teams wanted it really. Both teams cancelled each other out, not many chances created. And yeah, at least we don't end up with a W, but we don't end up with an L. Just a big fat D. And as a guest this week, watching the Dreary match with me, we have Cammy Anderson all the way from Scotland joining us for his second appearance on SempreInter TV. What's up Cammy, you good?
Thanks for having me on SempreInter TV today. Unfortunately it's not in as good circumstances as it was the last time I was on after we'd thumped Rapid Vienna.
Yeah, thanks for joining us man. Let's get straight into it. Who, if you have any, who was your man of the match? I know it's very difficult to pick one. And who was your flop of the match really?
I don't think you could really say there was any man of the match today. There wasn't really any standout performers whatsoever, and it was a really frustrating performance, especially after the way we performed against Genoa in midweek. I just don't know how we can go from performing like that to performing how we did today. It was really, really poor. When it comes to picking a flop of the match, that's certainly much easier today. It's a toss-up between Ivan Perisic and Matteo Politano for me. Neither could cross it to save their lives. Perisic in particular lost the ball at every given opportunity, and it was just really, really poor from the pair of them. Perisic was on free kicks today, and only God knows why, because he's one of our main aerial threats and he's someone that you kind of bank on getting on the end of, or at least near to the corners or your free kicks or whatever, but no, not good enough today unfortunately.
I know exactly what you mean Cammy. It was really difficult. I think I'm just going to force myself to pick someone, and I'm going to go for João Miranda. So let's look at the player ratings that Sunit gave out from SempreInter.com. Starting off in goal, Samir Handanovic with a 6, I agree. Hardly anything to do, a very quiet match for him. D'Ambrosio 6, yeah, I agree. I maybe even could have given him a 5.5. His work going forward has been really poor recently, and he really needs to improve. Otherwise, I think Cedric deserves a chance. Skriniar was given a 6, I agree, not one of his best matches. And then next to him, of course, João Miranda, who I gave my man of the match award to, so he gave him a 7. Yeah, I mean 7 sounds about right to me. Asamoah was also given a 6, so disappointed that he didn't continue from his last 2 or 3 positive matches. Gagliardini was rumoured not to be starting before the match, and a lot of Inter fans on Twitter I saw were already complaining at Spalletti, but fortunately he did start. He deserved to start after the last match against Genoa, but he didn't continue this good form. Yeah, he lost the ball a few times in very dangerous areas as well, especially after Brozovic was brought off. The whole team really kind of lost their way, but him especially, because he has to take on more of the playmaking responsibilities. It didn't seem like it suits him at all, and he was rightly subbed off for Borja. Brozovic 6.5. Vecino was given a 7.5 and man of the match by Sunit, which is surprising, as you know, Sunit's one of Sunit's favourite players. I think that's a bit high in my opinion, 7.5, maybe would have given him 6.5. Started off in the attacking mid position, which seems to suit him. Politano with a 5.5, I think that's spot on. Started off brightly, but as always, a lot of his decision making in the final third lets him down. And then Icardi given a 5. Yeah, this match was a big step down compared to his previous matches. Hold up play was really bad, especially in the second half. There was a lot of balls that came into him with his back to the defender, and he got beaten by the defender almost every time. I think in the next match, Lautaro, if he's fit, I think Lautaro will play. Nainggolan came on for the injured Brozovic and was brought on in that attacking midfield role, which meant Vecino switched back into the defensive midfield. And then Borja came on with some great energy, 6.5, I agreed. He could have been one of the man of the matches, to be honest. Probably should have been brought on instead of Raja Nainggolan, because we needed that playmaker in that role, because it was so early on into the match. I have a question for you actually, Cammy. What changes would you have made to sort of spring the team to life? Because it it really seemed like the team didn't really want to get the 3 points in the second half until sort of the last few minutes. What would you have done?
In terms of what I'd change, I'd have certainly made a different first substitution to which Spalletti chose. I think bringing on Nainggolan to try and play the Brozo role was a poor decision on his part. I'd far rather have seen Borgia come on at that stage. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out like that. Secondly, I felt Spalletti left it very late when it came to trying to change things. After Brozo went off, very little had happened. And from there, I feel we could have done with making a change a bit sooner. We didn't bring on Keita Balde until, what, the 65th, 70th minute? Whereas, granted, he didn't make much of a difference when he came on the pitch, but who knows, if we got maybe an extra 5, 10, even 15 minutes, it could have made all the difference in the end.
We're still, fortunately, 4 points clear of Milan in 4th place, which gives us a nice little gap going into the next match, which is against Frosinone, which I want to ask you, Cammy, what do you think, what are your thoughts going into that Frosinone match?
What to expect from next weekend's game? Well, for starters, I certainly expect a better performance. Today just wasn't good enough. With games against both Roma and Juventus coming up, I feel it's absolutely imperative that we do well against Frosinone. In terms of team selection, with Brozo looking out, there will almost certainly be changes, and I'd quite like to see João Mario come in behind Mauro Icardi.
Yeah, you're spot on really. Of course, Brozovic's injury looks like he'll be at least 2 or 3 weeks, usually the hamstring injuries. And, you know, I hope Borja is brought into the Regista role because it does suit him. And my match prediction for that is a 2-1 win. Now, going on to answer some questions from our viewers, from you guys. On our Twitter, we put out after the match, you know, tweet us with some of your rants or questions, and so thank you for sending those in. First up, we have Bilal Mirza. So Bilal asks, why was Ninja brought on instead of João Mario or Borja Valero? Is Spalletti just a mad scientist or just mad? Yeah, the guy is absolutely mad. He's bonkers. I think he's shown that over this season, especially with some of his post-match conferences and rants. The guy has a few screws that are loose and they can't be tightened again. But going back to the question, I think I touched on it earlier. I think Borja should have been brought on instead of Nainggolan really. The midfield balance was upset when Brozovic was brought off, and then Vecino was already doing quite well at that attacking mid position, so I don't think that should have been changed. And Borja has those playmaking abilities from deep. João Mario has as well. You know, he has got good technique and passing range on him, but not as good as Borja. And I think João Mario is more suited to a more free roam or box-to-box type role. And Gagliardini is definitely not made for that playmaking position. And our next question comes from Edward KM11 May. What has happened to our home form? We hardly score, and it's a really big concern going into the Roma match. Thank you for your question, Edward. Yeah, you're completely right about the fact that we hardly score at home at the moment. That's been 2 matches in a row now that we've been goalless at home, in the 1-0 loss to Lazio and this 0-0 draw. But I think it's mainly due to the fact that teams change the way they play when they come to the San Siro. Of course, Atalanta, as I mentioned earlier, you know, one of the top 2nd or 3rd highest scorers in the Serie A. Normally at home they're a completely different beast. But today, especially as they were missing their main man Zapata up front, with the makeshift attack, they really changed their approach. They were much deeper than they normally are. They weren't as aggressive, so there wasn't many spaces for Inter to attack. We didn't really create that many chances. Whereas against Lazio, at least, you know, these bigger teams usually come out with a, you know, more open style of play, which really suits Inter. That's why under Spalletti in these last 2 years, our record against the top 6 has been almost, you know, really impressive. So I'm not too concerned going into the Roma match, because I know that, you know, we will have chances against Roma, because, you know, that's the type of team they are as well. They're not great at the back, especially this season with having Juan Jesus, Fazio, Manolas often injured. You know, their defence, Robin Olsen in goal. I don't know, Nima loves him. So I'm not too concerned going into the Roma match. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. I know the match was boring, but hope we entertain you a little bit. Looking forward to the next match, as I mentioned with Cammy, against Frosinone next Sunday. Looking forward to a win, hopefully. And yeah, take care, guys. As always, Forza Inter. Ciao.